All right, let's go ahead and put in some CSS, add some color and some formatting to our page. Here's our page right now. I'm going to pull up the notepad to show you what the notepad looks like. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Zag, and I'm going to go to my CSS tutorial, and I'm going to go down here to internal. Now, there are three different ways that you can put CSS or style sheets into your website. And I'm going to start calling them style sheets because that's what everybody calls them that works with web pages, professionals, people that do it for a living, call them style sheets. So there's three ways to put style sheets into a website or a web page. You have your internal style sheets, your external style sheets, and your inline style sheets. We're going to focus mainly on the internal and the external. Right now, today, we're going to do the internal, uh, and then we'll show you external at a later date. But I want to get you guys comfortable with style sheets, how they work, how to use them before we start looking at the other two. So I clicked on CSS internal. I see that in my CSS code, if I read up here, that I must add a style tag inside my head tag. Remember we talked about the head tag, and we said that our head tag has several things in it. We just put a title tag in it. Here's my title tag inside of my beginning and ending head tag. So this is where our style tag is going to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit enter a couple times. I'm going to bring this over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in an opening bracket. I'm going to type in style type equals, and then I'm going to put a quotation mark and put text / CSS. All that's saying is that we are going to be using CSS style sheets in our website. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here. I'm going to put a couple spaces in because I need my CSS to go in there. And then I'm going to end my style tag just like that. And so now all of my style sheets, my CSS code is going to go in between this style tag at the top and my ending style tag right here. All right, so let's see what we can do. I'm going to click here. I'm going to move down. Remember, we have our selector, we have our property, and then we have our value. Okay, and in between our property and our value, we have a colon that separates it. So let's give it a try. I'm going to come up here, and in between my style tags, just like they have it up here, and if you don't like the way I'm doing it, go ahead and go to Zag and check it out for yourself. But in between here, I am going to put my P tag, because that's what I want to start with. And here's what I'm going to do. I go ahead and I hit enter. This is the way I was taught to do it. If you guys like the other way better, but this just works better and is easier for me to go back and look at, to go back and make sure I didn't make any mistakes. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the enter button, then put my shift bracket. Then I'm going to hit enter again to go down to another line. And then I'm going to put my color colon blue. And then what we do at the end of the value is we put a semicolon. Because what I can do is I can hit the enter button and put in other different things. So if I wanted to change the font, I could change the font. If I wanted to change the font size, I could change the font size. And we'll go back and do that. But I can add a whole bunch of things to my paragraph tag right in the same style sheet, the P style sheet. Okay? So I'm going to just leave it at color blue so we can see. Hit the enter button, and then I'm going to do a shift right bracket. Okay, so I've got in my paragraph tag, I'm going to change the color to blue. So let's go and see if that works. First of all, I'm going to save it. And you know what? I'm going to do a save as. I thought some of you got a little confused. Normally, you're just going to do a save, and that's fine. But I'm going to do a save as just to show you that we need to remember to put that HTML at the end. Okay? So if I do for basic tags, that's what I'm calling it. I need to put .html after any name that I give any of my websites. That's how it shows up as an HTML file. Okay, so my file name is called for basic tags, but the type of file is an HTML file, so that's why I go ahead and put .html. If yours says .txt, then you did it incorrectly and you need to go back and resave it as a .html file, whatever you called it, .html. Okay, I'm going to hit the save button. Okay, it says it already exists, so that's a good thing because I already have it. So now what I can do is I can come over here to my first website. I'm just going to refresh it or hit the F5 and look up here and that turned blue. That's exactly what we wanted it to do. Okay, we know that that is just going to affect the P tag because if I go and I put a different tag in, for example, the H tags are header tags and they are bold and they're a little bit bigger depending on if you put an H1 through H6. H1 is the biggest, H6 is the smallest. Okay, so what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to go ahead above my P tag and I'm going to put an open bracket. I'm going to put H1 and I'm going to put this is my title and I'm going to end my H1 tag and then I'm going to go to file and save because I already know it's an HTML tag. Once I do that, I can come back here. I can push F5 or go up here and hit my refresh button. And you see that my title now is not blue. So just my paragraph tag that I went and I put my CSS in, that's the only thing that's blue. So you can do this with lots of other things. Why don't you give it a try and see if you can change like the font, see if you can change the font size, and see if there are some other different tags like the H1 tag. Maybe go in and put in an H1 or an H2 tag and see if you can put some CSS in for that or some style sheets formatting in for that. All right.